Welcome back to the Boardroom Breakdown. We distill complex strategy and tech into quick, executive-ready briefings. These are bite-sized videos that surface the essentials, the concept, the stakes, and the moves that drive outcomes. No fluff, just signal. So you can ramp up on new topics in minutes and make sharper decisions between meetings. Today, we're tackling a paradox that's bubbling up right from the heart of our AI revolution. And it's showing up in the latest industry data. This single line from the 2025 DORA report, it just perfectly captures the critical challenge leaders are facing right now. AI is making everything faster, and that includes our problems. Okay, so let's dive right into this. On the surface, AI adoption in software engineering looks like a massive, undeniable success. The productivity metrics seem to be soaring through the roof. And we're all seeing this productivity glow, right? Engineers are churning out code faster than ever before, and new features are just flooding our pipelines. But underneath all that shine, there's a really inconvenient truth. Delivery is getting more unstable, technical debt is piling up, and our tools are all over the place. So yeah, we're building faster, but we're also building on some seriously shaky ground. And that begs the question, why is this happening? Well, here's the problem. Those traditional ways we used to measure productivity, things like lines of code or story points, they're just irrelevant now. They're actually misleading in a world powered by AI. Think about it. A developer using an AI copilot might produce 10 times the code, but if that code is just getting crammed into a brittle architecture, the result isn't innovation, it's just instability. And this leads to a whole new kind of inefficiency, something we're calling AI engineering waste. The best way to think about it is like a hidden tax, a tax on any organization that hasn't evolved its foundations. AI is just a massive accelerator for bad practices, and that creates this incredible drag on creating any real value. And you can see it showing up in a few really distinct ways that just drain your team's focus and energy. You've got that prompt response latency, right, where engineers are literally just waiting for the model to spit something out. Then there's context loss, where the AI assistant forgets the conversation, forcing developers to start all over again. And on top of that, you've got fragmented tools and this massive overhead just to validate that all the AI-generated code actually works. So, when all these little issues start to pile up, your engineers aren't innovating anymore. They're basically just babysitting machines and fighting friction. It's productivity theater replacing productivity reality. The hard truth is, AI is not going to fix a broken system. No way. It just makes that system break faster. So what's the strategic move here? Well, this really requires a fundamental shift in our approach, a whole new way of looking at the entire engineering organization. The solution isn't going to be found in a shinier new tool or a slightly faster model. The answer is definitely not just throwing more AI at the problem. No, it's about adopting a completely new mindset, systems thinking. Now, what does that actually mean? Well, systems thinking forces us to look beyond those little isolated productivity spikes. It makes us ask how all the parts of our engineering ecosystem actually fit together to create sustainable value. In practice, this means things like unified developer experiences, consistent AI patterns, and measuring acceleration across the entire lifecycle, not just one little piece of it. Honestly, this is what separates the organizations that are just playing with AI from the ones that are actually winning with it. So, how do we make this real? How does this idea translate into an actionable framework? Well, building this foundation really comes down to pulling 3 critical levers, and it all starts with how you measure and optimize your work. First, you absolutely have to operate as an optimization engine. This is all about embedding evidence-based experimentation deep into your workflows. In an AI-driven world, your intuition just isn't enough anymore. The organizations that are going to win are the ones that treat engineering like a scientific discipline. The second lever is about building the infrastructure that makes excellence the absolute path of least resistance. You have to strengthen the core with platform engineering. The best way to think of it is building a paved road for your developers, giving them self-service tools and built-in guardrails that just eliminate all that friction that AI can't solve on its own. And that brings us to the third, and maybe the most critical lever of all. It's about focusing on the human who's at the center of this whole system. You have to prioritize the developer experience, or DevX. In the age of AI, a streamlined DevX, that's not a perk anymore. It's pure survival.
And we see this pattern play out all the time, especially in these high-stakes, heavily regulated industries. Take a really common scenario you see in banking. A big firm is dealing with high developer attrition, and their release cycles are just sluggish. So what do? By completely reimagining their developer experience, with integrated portals and really clear guardrails, they not only get their momentum back, but they also reduce cognitive load and compliance risk. It turns out, what looked like a productivity crisis was actually an experience crisis all along. So, what's the ultimate goal here? What happens when you pull all three of these levers together? Well, it's about a total transformation of your entire engineering posture.
See, most organizations today are AI-augmented. They're just kind of bolting AI onto their existing and, let's be honest, often fragile processes. The real goal is to become AI first, and that means having intelligent agents, autonomous workflows, and treating AI as a systemic capability that's designed into your platform from the very ground up. But, and this is a big but, you cannot skip the foundational work. Without that systems thinking, without a mature platform, trying to be AI first just makes you AI fragile. The winners in this new era won't be the ones who just generate the most code. They'll be the ones who generate the most value. So really, that 2025 Dora report is both a celebration and a warning. AI adoption is widening the gap between the leaders and the laggards, and it's happening faster than ever before. This leaves us with one critical question. Is your organization building for productivity theater or for sustainable value? That's the strategic question to carry back to your next leadership meeting. Thanks for watching the Boardroom Breakdown.